The flavors are phenomenal. They are very effective, and they're just awesome. They make on-the-go options, shakes, everything you could need to be healthy and fit and hit your goals and everything on the road. It's a must. And you just with having higher quality products, you have less stomach issues. There's just the quality of the product is probably number one. Number two, the people at First Phorm and in the First Phorm Outdoor group, absolutely phenomenal people, always uplifting, always positive. They want you to succeed.
What is going on? Hope you're having a fantastic start to the year 2024. Here for the next 2 weeks, every single day, you're going to get to hear a story from someone in the First Phorm Outdoors crew, everyone from the West Coast to the East Coast, north to south, everything in between, bass fishermen, professional bass fishermen, bird hunters, archers, rifle hunters, everything in between, guys, just outdoorsmen in general, outdoorsmen and women. I want you to understand why they have chosen First Phorm and First Phorm Outdoors as their company for supplementation, for nutrition, for workouts, and more, just an outstanding community, and why we want you to be a part of it. So not just from me, but from everyone in the crew, again, from all walks of life and everything outdoors that they really enjoy. You're going to find a story that you can relate with, if not more than one. And I hope you enjoy each one of these stories. Here we go. Let's kick off the new year right. And if you want to join us at First Phorm Outdoors on the Facebook group, the link is down below. If you have any questions about supplementation, from the protein sticks to the meat sticks, guys, those are my favorite snacks when we're out and about. Also, energy drinks, if that's your thing. We've got everything from post-workout shakes to, in the app that's less than $20 a month, guys, you get a one-on-one advisor. You get someone to help walk you through your nutrition, someone that will hop on live and not just give you a cookie cutter routine, but something to check in with you on a regular basis so you can accomplish your goals here in 2024. Let's get this started off right with the First Phorm Outdoors crew. Here we go. Hope you enjoy this conversation today and for the next 2 weeks. Let me know what you think. Have a great day. And of course, get out, live your life, and love it. Welcome back, everyone, to this week of First Phorm Outdoors. Why you should join First Phorm Outdoors from different perspectives, from the West Coast to the East Coast, North and South, from hunters to now anglers, and many other things in between, guys. If you are just into the outdoors at all, this is some different, I guess, observations or different perspectives as to why you should be a part of First Phorm Outdoors, and not just from me, but from other people in the community as well. So with that being said, we've got Andrew Behnke, and Andrew is Bass Master and EQ Angler. I'm going to mess that up.
No,
okay, perfect. I got it right. Yes.
I know. It's a long title just for a guy who goes out and catches bass.
Well, so I brought Andrew on because, again, I know, as you can tell just from me introducing him, I know nothing about fishing other than I like topwater bass fishing and trout fishing, and I suck at both of them, but they're fun. Other than that, I don't know anything as far as terminologies and all of that stuff. I stick with a skeeter pop, which I don't even know if you know what that is. That's not even the official term. It's the one that's on the top of the water, and you kind of jerk it every once in a while. It makes like a gurgling sound.
Some sort of popper.
Yeah. My grandpa called them skeeter pops, so that's what I use. And outside of that, I know nothing about angling. So with that, we've got Andrew on because I want Andrew to give you guys a perspective from. Again, we've had whitetail hunters on, Western hunters, bird hunters, and just someone from, maybe you're sitting there thinking, well, bass fishermen are just on a boat. They've got cool technology. They cast and reel and cast and bring it back in and all this stuff, but they don't really do a lot of, why do they need to train their bodies physically and have their nutrition dialed? So for that, I bring Andrew on to be able to discuss that with you guys. But first, Andrew, for people that don't know who you are you in a nutshell?
Well, my name's Andrew Behnke. Like you said, I'm a Bassmaster Opens EQ angler. I've been fishing competitively for bass for the past, I gotta think, like 17 years, all the way from 14 all the way up. I worked through the ranks from smaller clubs in the state of Wisconsin all the way up to regional events and to national events. And last year was my first year on tour traveling the country fishing for bass, all over, basically from southern Florida all the way up to here in Wisconsin.
That's awesome. That's really cool.
Yep.
I've got a buddy that's really big into bass fishing, and he probably should have gone out, which I didn't realize this, but there are actual bass fishing teams in college.
Mm-hmm.
So for people that really enjoy fishing out there, I don't know how much of my audience is big into fishing, but maybe you could get your kids into fishing so that they can go win scholarships and
Yeah.
and travel different lakes fishing for bass.
It's a really good thing that's come around in the sport the past couple of years. They've even got high school fishing now too. A good friend of mine's little brother, Marshall Robinson, his little brother, Mitchell Robinson, won the high school national championship over on,
Wow.
it was on Hartwell this year. And massive tournament, tons of participation. And the cool part about those events is you're in the boat with another kid, so you get to fish with somebody. You have a boat captain with you, and you just get to go out and experience so much, and you learn so much more just being out on the water. The key is more time on the water, the more situations you see, the more you're able to adapt, and you'll catch more fish.
Yep. No, I mean, it sounds very similar to hunting. You just
Very
got to
similar.
figure out where they're at and then go after them. You know, it's real interesting because I grew up in North Carolina, which I hear there's a lot of good fishing around Raleigh. Right there in
Yeah.
right there, NC State. I guess they have one of the better fishing teams in the nation.
Yeah.
Is that yeah? Okay. So
Yeah,
I'm not completely out of date.
No, the Southeast is full of really good colleges that are good into bass fishing. I mean, I got to think of a couple off the top. Auburn is always a player. There's been a couple really big names come out of Auburn. I got to think Montebello is another one that comes to mind. There's a bunch of Bethel. Can't forget Bethel. That's like the powerhouse in college bass fishing right now. So
That's crazy.
yeah. Yeah, it's
That's
pretty
awesome.
wild. It's become really, really big, and you see a lot of people take their college angling to the next level, fishing in the opens to qualify for the Bassmaster Elites, which is the top tour for the Bassmaster side. And I competed against a bunch of people in the Major League Fishing Invitationals that were all college anglers trying to get to the top side of Major League Fishing, which is the Bass Pro Tour. So it's a great catalyst to get you going in the right direction. And not only the fishing side, but the business side too, because a lot of those schools have affiliations with companies, so you can talk to potential sponsors, talk with other anglers, just kind of get the whole picture of what's going on in the bass fishing industry.
I get that. That's awesome. That's that's huge because honestly, just for people knowing that, they can kind of take that information and look at more, I guess, look up more information. I've got a buddy that he just loves bass fishing. That's kind of his piece. So he might not have enjoyed competing with it as much.
Yeah.
He was a college wrestler. He went up to Wisconsin on scholarship and wrestled, and then went back and he's a coach at North Carolina State. And he said
Nice.
he'll bring his fishing gear with him to work because there's, I guess, a couple good lakes right there, right around North Carolina State University
Oh,
that he'll
that's
just
awesome.
disappear to, and that's his piece. So
Yeah.
He's like, I can't tell you exactly where it is. He's like, I'll bring you out here, but I can't tell you where it is because then people will go blow up my spots.
I'm not saying it on here. No.
Exactly. Exactly. But
Yeah.
no, that's awesome. So I guess for people out there, what is, and I kind of even want to know this, like, what is your purpose in training? Because like I could see you want to have good like arm movement and mobility, good forearms, and good shoulder movement, right? But outside of that, like what kind of training do you do to get prepared for these long days on the water?
Another thing that's really important too is just core strength in your back too, because you're on your feet. Like competitive bass fishing is not your cast a bobber out, sit there and wait. You're on your feet. It is like I'm drinking caffeine all day because you're on the go. I mean, you got to break down massive bodies of water in a very short amount of time for these tournaments. So you're on your feet, you're casting a ton. I mean, thousands and thousands of casts a day. And really, the kind of training that I do might be a little unorthodox for a lot of guys. I know a lot of guys who fish competitively that like to run. They're more of like your marathon runners, to basically just condition their body to putting in a lot of work in long periods of time. I like to just lift heavy. I mean, that's kind of my thing. I like the more not powerlifting, but bodybuilding kind of stuff.
Hmm.
More for the mind game of it. I look at it this way. It's really hard to get up sometimes when it's super cold outside. I mean, just like hunting. You're going out when the conditions are cold, maybe not ideal, but you got to go because you don't know what the day is going to hold. So you take advantage of every minute that you can. You got to make a lot of hard choices in the days of being a fisherman and being competitive. I mean, is it easy to sleep in? Yes, but you can't. If you really want to be competitive, you got to do things that other people aren't willing to do. So I kind of take that into the gym and really push myself to do things that are hard, just so when those hard tasks come throughout the season, no matter really what it is, it makes it not easier, but the
Hmm.
decision to do it is just more of an instinct. I
Right.
mean, it comes down to small little things like, would it be easier just to keep tying the same or throwing the same bait after you nicked it on some rocks? Yeah, but sit down and retie. It's just the discipline aspect of it, making the harder choice, doing the things that may seem inconvenient, um, just to maximize your time and your efforts to get the best results that you can.
Wow. That's cool. That's a good way to put it. Because I don't see a lot of, in the professional side of things anyway, you don't see a lot of out of shape guys that are up on the boat. And I
Not
didn't know if
really.
that was because you guys just don't eat because you're out there fishing so much, or
That could be part of it. That could be part of it.
you're so
But
focused on it. But no, I figured it, just like in just about any professional sport,
hmm
there's some level of physicality to it, and you guys train to a certain degree. And so it
yeah,
is interesting to hear how a bass fisherman would train,
yeah,
in this setting. So that's really cool.
yeah.
Um,
And I had a buddy of mine. His name's Randy Howell. He's a Bassmaster Classic champion.
mhm,
Really good friends with them. We were down on Lake Okeechobee last year, and he told me a story back when Bassmaster was associated with ESPN. They did studies just to see how many calories on average an angler would burn during a competition day. So they had them rigged up with like heart monitors and everything, and they went off a bunch of different anglers, not just like your scrawny guys. They went all different sizes of anglers, all different weights and everything, and they said
mhm.
on average during competition, a professional angler is burning plus or minus 4,000 calories a
Wow.
day. So that was another aspect that kind of comes into it too. Just along with living a healthy and active lifestyle, you value nutrition. And that is like why I have level 1 bars and the protein sticks, and I'm making protein shakes just to try and keep. I mean, it is really hard. Let's be honest. Like, I'm on the go nonstop. It's hard to make your macro goals every single day on the water, but just continuously trying to eat something, keep your body fueled, helps your mind work better, helps the rest of your body work better, and helps you make those difficult decisions that you got to make
Mm,
on the water every day.
gotcha. No, that makes sense. Man, I just, yeah, it's hard to think about being on the water. I mean, I would just burn to a crisp. I'd be one of those guys that needs to be like, this is the only thing you can see of me out
Mm-hmm.
on the water, because
Yep.
I would get toasted.
Oh yeah.
Um, but no,
Yeah, you got
with
that that very fair skin.
I do. Yeah, it's bad. My forearms and my face are really the only things that don't get sunburnt anymore because they're
Yeah.
used to it. But everything else, man, it's bad. But
Yep.
yeah, like I was walking around Total Archery Challenge and I had a lightweight one of those lightweight hoodies on, and like I felt fine. I didn't feel like I was sweating any more than normal. But people
Yeah.
were looking at me like, "Man, aren't you hot?" I'm like, "Actually, no. They make this cool technology that
Mm-hmm.
doesn't. It actually helps keep you cool, and it
Yeah.
doesn't sunburn. So I'm good.
Yeah, they
Thank
all
you."
have like SPF like 35 to 50
Hmm.
now in those things.
Oh yeah.
They're nice. You have to. I mean, so I live in Wisconsin, and
Mm-hmm.
my first tournament's down in South Florida on Lake Okeechobee,
Mm.
same as it was for me last year. So layering up and making sure you're protecting yourself from the sun is a must. Because if I go down there and just like in a t-shirt, I will be burnt to a crisp in like an hour. It takes no time at all.
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah, I'm the same way, man. I gotta layer up. I wear the long sleeves. I'll wear pants when I can, just to. The last thing I want to do when I'm out there is get burnt and then make the rest
Mm-hmm.
of the week miserable. you know?
Exactly. It's like you can sweat a little bit, deal with a little bit of sweat to not be
Yep,
sunburnt. I hear
exactly.
you.
Yep.
I hear you on that
And
one.
this time of year down in Florida, it's not so bad. I mean, it's a little bit cooler in the mornings. Middle of the day, obviously, it depends. I mean, it can get up to 80 some degrees,
Right.
but then it starts to cool off again, and it's all good. You're fine.
It's all good.
Yeah, it's all
Oh, that's
good.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. So I guess just for the people out there listening, and then from your perspective, being a northern angler that travels the country, is always on the move, always on the go. What drew you to First Form? Why, when there's so many other options as far as supplement companies or outdoors communities, why First Form and First Form Outdoors for you? Give me your top 3 reasons for if someone walked up to you now and just said, "Hey, I'm getting started. I love bass fishing or I love getting in the outdoors. I see you're with First Form and First Form Outdoors. Give me your elevator pitch of, maybe not even that short, but top 3 things why First Form Outdoors, why I should look into that."
Well, I would say number one, all of the products that First Form offers, they speak for themselves. The flavors are phenomenal. They are very effective, and they're just awesome. They make on-the-go options, shakes, everything you could need to be healthy and fit and hit your goals and everything on the road. It's a must. And you just with having higher quality products, you have less stomach issues. There's just the quality of the product is probably number one. Number two, the people at First Form and in the First Form Outdoor group, absolutely phenomenal people, always uplifting, always positive. They want you to succeed. That is the biggest thing, is they are in it for you. And I mean, what else could you ask for from somebody? Like, they're not out to just, I mean, obviously they're a business, they're out to make money, but they want you to succeed. Number one, first and foremost, that is exactly it. And number three for me, I mean, the mentality of everybody is the same. Bunch of go-getters, we're driven, we want to succeed, we want to help people succeed. Kind of the same, I mean, it kind of piggybacks off of number two. The mentality of the people it's the same with for me, I guess. I mean, that's a pretty crappy 1, 2, and 3, but
No, I
more like
mean
a
it just
1, 2, and 2.
reiterates again. Yeah, right. Just reiterates the community aspect of it, because that's something
Exactly.
that a lot of people, you go get a protein powder or a pre-workout because it looks cool, or because some professional uses it, or
Right.
whatever, and that's cool and all, but
Mm-hmm.
there's a
Yeah.
lot of things that go into the First Form community, and as people, this is going out the first week, and I might have to split this into 2 weeks with how many people we've got coming on this,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
getting into the First Form Outdoors community is going to be key for people as they're starting their journey back up. A lot of people go into that New Year's resolution, New Year, New Me mentality, and that's
Yep.
cool and all, but we don't want you to have to do that again in 2025. We
No.
want it to be 2024, and then you bring it, it's a new lifestyle for you. And then when 2025 rolls around, guess what? You can have a different New Year's resolution than you've
Yeah.
had in the last 5 years.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
you can have a different
Absolutely.
one than
Yeah.
just fitness, because you've
Yeah.
created a lifestyle around it that is maintainable, and now you
Mm-hmm.
can move on instead of
Yep.
the constant rat race of,
Right.
oh, I'm going to lose the weight. I lost 2 or maybe 10 pounds in those 3 months, and then I'm going to stop going to the gym, going to enjoy my summer, and hot girl
Yeah.
summer, whatever, the
Whatever.
dude,
Yeah.
shirtless dude summer, whatever it is. And
Yep.
then you start bulking, and you get
Yeah.
your winter body, and then you're back on again, circle
Right.
over and over and over
It's
again.
a continuous cycle that
Mm-hmm.
we, as a whole community, we want to see you break that cycle.
Mm-hmm.
We want to see it just basically flatline. Like, you just
Mm-hmm.
continue on your fitness journey throughout the year. And I even say, like, everybody's talking their 2024 resolution. Start right now.
Mm-hmm.
Why not now? What's making you wait till the beginning of the
Mm-hmm.
year? The
Exactly.
hardest part in anything like this is getting started. once you get started and you stay consistent with it and discipline yourself to stay consistent with it, it just becomes part of your life and it makes it that much easier to do.
Exactly.
I mean, it's kind of funny, like I find it sometimes difficult to talk about fitness because it's just something that I've done for so long. It's just part of who I am. It's what I do.
Hmm.
I try to eat clean. I stay in the gym. I stay active. I'm on the go no matter what I'm trying to do. I'm always on the go. It's just part of who I am. So sometimes bringing it up in conversation is can be difficult. And I want to see that happen to other people too. I want them to be very passionate about it, but it just to be part of who they are and what they do.
Hmm. Exactly. No, I agree with you on that. It's something that it's it's something that people need to just, I don't know, you got to break that cycle. That's really what it
Yep.
boils down to. And we've all been there. We've all had those
Oh yeah.
moments where we cycle through and we fall into the temptation of whatever it is. But there's always, I'm just going to break it to you. There's always a holiday. There's always
Mm-hmm.
something going on
Yep.
that will break you from your nutrition cycle. And we're not saying that you have to be eating like I don't know, Ronnie Coleman or someone like
No.
that, super strict, chicken, broccoli, and rice every meal.
Right.
But instead of having 5 pieces of pie, maybe have a smaller 1 piece of pie.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe instead of eating half the cake, eat a quarter of the piece of cake. Enjoy the community aspect of the party rather
Mm-hmm.
than feeling like you have to be shoving your face full of food or empty calories with alcohol, things like
Yep.
that. Maybe have a beer instead of 10 beers. I don't
Right.
drink, so I would say just don't have any alcohol and enjoy the
Yeah.
party because everyone else is getting drunk and it's funny to watch. But
Yeah.
you know, just that, but that's, just everything. That's what we communicate with the outdoors branch of First Form, because it is still First Form. It's
Yep.
just we're reaching out and meeting people where they're at, which as an outdoors community, the whitetail hunter that goes to camp and wants to drink with their buddies, and that's why
Mm-hmm.
they go to camp. And then if they kill a deer, they kill a deer. That's awesome.
Right.
Or people like yourself that just enjoy angling and they don't want to have to worry about their nutrition constantly.
Yep.
We want to meet you where you are. You don't have to look like a gym rat. You don't have to have shredded 6, 8 pack, going on. If you want
No.
to, cool. We're here to help you with that too. But you
Yep.
don't need that to enjoy the outdoors. We just
No.
want you to experience more of the outdoors, to live a happier, healthier, more successful life, and be
Yep.
able to share that with your great grandkids one day.
That's
That's what we
exactly it.
want.
Yep.
Yep.
That's exactly it. The more healthy you are, the more time you can spend outside, not feel fatigued, and carry it on for generations and generations. That's exactly it.
I mean, let's just think. I'm just trying to picture the worst case scenario for an angler. You are in a hot spot. You found where they're all at, where all the big bass are. And by
Mm-hmm.
big bass, I don't mean the big bass that have weights in their stomach, but actual big bass. Shots
Oh God.
fired at people out there that maybe cheat like that. But
All you cheaters out
man,
there, pay
I didn't
attention
even know
now.
that. I didn't even know that was a thing until I saw it. I'm like, are you kidding me? Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, that's ridiculous.
No.
You like,
It's
it's so easy to just cut a fish open and see it's got weights in
yep.
it. But yeah,
I know.
anyway, long story short, on
Sidetrack.
that, I had to throw that out there because I just had to throw the jab. But
Yeah. Sadly, it happens.
you're in a hot spot where there's the big bass. They're biting. They're getting
Yep.
after it. You're in your happy place, and then you throw your back out.
Yeah.
Or you've been standing all day, so your feet are sore. You got bad circulation. You start getting lightheaded. Your I don't know, maybe your sugar drops because you're overweight and you've developed diabetes, not necessarily that you were born with it. I always get the two mixed up, type 1, type 2, but you've
Yeah. Type
developed
one,
it
type two.
because of you've
Yep.
developed it instead of being born with it. You've developed it because of your poor choices of nutrition,
Yep.
and you have to sit down and you can't cast anymore. That would be awful.
Yep.
And then also
And
being able to be that grandpa that takes their kids out. Like I love, my grandpa's had a couple health scares, and he's gotten better, but
yeah.
it's fun for us. It's a highlight of our summer when we, as grandkids and now great grandkids, get picked to go out on the boat with granddaddy and spend a
Mm-hmm.
morning or an evening, whether we catch something or not, which we usually do. But even the
Yeah.
days that we don't, and we're just out there casting and getting snagged on trees and stuff, it's so much fun to do
Mm-hmm.
that. And if you're not healthy and take care of yourself, you're not able to get out and trust that you will survive even just going out on a boat on a calm lake.
Right. Yep.
That's
That's
something
that's
that
pretty
that
much it.
yeah, you want
I've
to be
seen it
able
a
to
lot.
do.
I've seen it quite a bit with people. I mean, their joints just wear out. They don't take care of themselves. They're not trying to practice on like or stretch, flexibility, that kind of stuff. I've seen people that can only stand for 4 hours and they have to sit. When I first started fishing with them, they could stand all day, fish all day, 10, 12 hours. And now it's like 4 to 6 hours on a boat. They're gassed. They can't go out for another couple days because they have to recover because they were on their feet
Hmm.
that long. It's like, I don't know, if you just do something, just walk, start something. Just walk 45 minutes a day, hour and a half, whatever you can. Just get some
Hmm.
movement in. Do some simple stretches, some simple forearm stretches, arm stretches, leg stretches, just and anything just to get your body moving. And it all helps in the end. It really does. It
Hmm.
makes a big, big difference.
Exactly.
And I mean,
Small. Go ahead.
I've just seen it too. Is like I took a trip down to Gunnersville. This was a couple of years ago, and I was down there for a week, and I was out there from sun up to sundown every single day. And another thing that comes with nutrition is your body just learns how to recover
Mm.
really quickly. So those long days were not fatiguing to me, whereas to some people, they're like, I can't spend 5, 6 days out on the lake all day long. Like their back's gonna hurt, their feet, ankle, like whatever. The list goes on. But that's just it. It's like I'm able to spend that much time out there because I take care of myself. And I want to pass that message on to other people because I don't care if you're a tournament fisherman, you're a diehard duck hunter, deer hunter, elk hunter, anything you want to do outside, if you don't keep yourself in shape, you're not going to be able to see some of the incredible things that everybody can see. And I
Exactly.
think everybody should be able to see those things like beautiful sunrises, sunsets. I mean, a bull elk coming across the top of the hill, bass jumping in the sunrise, something like that. I think everybody should be able to experience that stuff.
Exactly.
I mean,
100%.
yeah, I
100%.
mean, God's creation is a beautiful thing, and I want everybody to be able to see as much of it as they can.
Exactly. It's something that, you don't think about it until it's right there in your face, whether it be old age, something that you could have prevented. Obviously, there's things that you can't prevent, and unwanted circumstances will happen every once in a while. But the things
Yep.
that are in your control with nutrition, again, people keep bringing up, like if you listen to Dave Ramsey or whoever talking about if you put a small amount in your 20s versus having to put more in your 40s, like
Hmm.
triple the amount in your 40s so that you can get the same return in the long run. It's the same with your nutrition. If you're putting in small efforts, nutrition and fitness, if you're putting in small efforts such as your mobility, your flexibility, your nutrition, small efforts on a day-to-day basis versus huge efforts later on trying to recover things that may not ever be able to be recovered.
Right.
So it's definitely key to start now wherever you are,
Hmm.
whatever age you are, start now so that in a few years from now, you will be better than you are now. And
Absolutely.
and there's a saying, and I don't know all the math behind it. I did it once just to make sure that I wasn't spreading false information here, but the idea that if you are 1% better every single day, you are twice as good as you were today 70 days from now. That's all it takes.
Yeah.
And there's that compounding effect with the interest, so someone else can go out there and figure that out. But
Yeah.
it
Do the
it's
actual math
it
yourself.
yeah, right. It's a little over 2 months, and you can be
Yep.
twice as good if you're just 1% better than you are every
Yep.
single day. That's it. You don't have to be 10%, 50%,
No.
just 1% better every day. And all that takes is maybe today you start your reading journey. You read 10
Hmm.
pages a day. Maybe today you start your nutrition journey. Maybe you drop a couple 100 calories or a couple beers that you normally would drink or whatever it is off of your normal diet.
Hmm.
Maybe that's
Yep.
all it takes,
Yeah.
and it will change your life.
Yep. One day at a time.
Exactly.
Look at the short game first because then it plays out in the long term.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yep.
Small and simple efforts. So, with that being
Exactly.
said, thanks so much for hopping on here, Andrew. Where can
Absolutely,
people
man.
find you at, man?
I got an Instagram, Behnke Bass Fishing, YouTube, Behnke Bass Fishing, or you can for all these you can just search my name too, Andrew AndrewBehnke. Facebook, Andrew Behnke, TikTok, Behnke fishing or Behnke bass fishing, I get confused. They're all very close to the same. And then I do have my Facebook group as well. Looking for more people to jump on over there for some like behind the scenes look, more fitness talk. I'm a firefighter paramedic as well. So I kind of dive into that a little bit and how all of this comes full circle. And just kind of some behind the scenes of my life. That's Team Behnke Fishing on Facebook.
Sweet. Awesome. We're going to put all those links down below, guys, so you guys can check it out and talk to Andrew if you're interested in his honey holes. He'll definitely tell them all to you. He'll drop you the coordinates. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Don't be that guy.
Send
Don't be.
waypoints.
Yeah, don't be that guy. But reach out to Andrew if you do need any help with, maybe you're getting into angling, maybe you're a young kid, or maybe you're an adult that you see your kids wanted to get into it. Andrew would be more than happy to talk to you about that, what his journey was. And then, of course, anything nutrition related, feel free to reach out to me, Andrew, anyone that has been on this podcast this week here for the First Phorm Outdoors crew. And I'm going to leave the link down below as well so that you can get into the First Phorm Outdoors community on Facebook. If you don't have a Facebook, which is very common nowadays, which I appreciate, I would say, and this is going to be me playing the devil's advocate, it's worth getting a Facebook just to be in the First Phorm Outdoors group. Now, you don't have to go in and post anything on any of your other parts of Facebook. You don't have to tell anyone you have a Facebook. I would just say get one to get into the First Phorm Outdoors community, because you're going to find people and tools in there that you won't be able to find outside of that Facebook group. So highly recommend that you go and do that.
Like-minded individuals.
Exactly. 100%. Well, thanks again, Andrew, for hopping on here, taking some time out of your day and off the water to talk to us a little bit here about First Phorm and why you choose First Phorm Outdoors. And with that being said, guys, like I always say, get out, live your life, and love it.